outside? You go outside? Outside? Well, come on, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Okay. Come on, let's go. Okay. You ready? Okay, there you go. Hi y'all, and welcome to India Brady Art. So today's project is going to be a tumbler, and I've got I believe it's a 12 by 12 sheet of vinyl here, and what I'm going to do is trim all of the sides, because as you can tell they've got a small white border on them, and looking back I could have just left them alone, done my measurements, and come back to trim them, but hey, I do things the long way. So anyway, I've got my piece of vinyl, all the sides are trimmed off, and what I'm doing here is I'm just laying my tumbler down on the vinyl so I can get a good idea of how to measure it. So I've got my handy dandy tape measure, and the only thing that I had to write on was a paper towel, so I wrote the measurements down on that so I could remember them. And I'm going to take out my trusty paper cutter, and I'm going to go ahead and measure, just mark off the measurements that I need to cut. Now the vinyl that I'm using, the company where I ordered it from, I think it's from AB Designs. I don't remember, and I'm going to have to look somehow, find out where I bought it from. But I think this company offers their vinyl sheets either with a white background or a clear background, which I think is pretty cool. So some I bought with the white and some I bought with the clear. And what I did there was I cut off just a small portion of the backing, because I'm going to do what is called a hinge method. And what that is you're going to lay down your vinyl and then take something that's not going to scratch your vinyl, like this little piece right here. That black part is felt, so it's not going to scratch the vinyl, because that's all you need, is to have a piece of vinyl that you really like, and you just scratch it all up. So, and that's that for that. It's all on there, and this vinyl is very forgiving, as you'll see here in a couple of minutes, or moments actually. And what I'm doing here is, you really don't want air bubbles in your vinyl, because what will happen is when you go to put your epoxy on here, it's not going to look right. So go with your weeding tool or an X-Acto knife, something with a real sharp edge on it, and poke. You don't have to poke very, very hard, because you don't want to create holes in your vinyl either. You just want to poke with very little pressure. You want to poke on top of those air bubbles and smooth it down, and it will it'll when you smooth it down, it'll come out with actually no evidence of you having any air bubbles at all. So As you can see, I had to pull it all the way up because I had huge air bubbles in it. But yeah, this vinyl is just very forgiving. So what I'm doing here is I don't cover the bottom of my tumblers. I might in the future, I don't know. But this is a tumbler trimming tool. It'll trim through vinyl, um, resin, anything to get it to where it looks nice and crisp and clean. So what I'm doing here is I went on Cricut and I just looked for butterflies and dragonflies, and I inserted them into Design Space, and I just made them to not a shape, but a measurement that I thought would look good on the cup. And I think there's 6 of each on here. I could be wrong, but and that's my weeding tool right there. It looks like a fountain pen, but it's got a super duper sharp, like a needle or clothespins edge to it. Because I don't like that other picker tool that you get from Cricut. I don't know. I don't like that thing. If I have to use it, I will use it. But I like the pins. What do you call them? The picker pins. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is fight with my transfer tape. One of these days I'll get transfer tape that I really like. And there's no rhyme or reason on here. It's just to put them wherever I feel like it. And that's what I like about creating tumblers, is because you have more free range over a tumbler or maybe a coffee cup, or even companies also make sippy cups for kids. Whatever you're doing as far as a tumbler or anything like that, you have more free range, or you have more creativity than you do with just pouring resin into a mold, or pouring filler and resin into a mold. And it's just, I don't know. I've watched, I don't know how many videos with ladies that they stick the transfer tape on there and wham bam, they pull it up and it pulls up with no problem. And so yeah, I am always having to fight with mine. I've used packing tape. That doesn't work for me. So anyway, I digress. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just going around and looking to where I don't, there's not a space, and I'll put a sticker on it. Now, if you don't have a Cricut machine or a Silhouette, I think is what they're called, if you don't have any type of machine like that that will cut vinyl, you can always go to the dollar store, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Amazon, and look for stickers there. You don't have to have a Cricut machine or, vinyl cutting machine. You don't have to do that. And as far as the vinyl goes, you can buy, what do you call it? Blank vinyl, and print out your own vinyl. You don't have to buy vinyl from the store, or you don't have to have a vinyl cutting machine. You don't have to have all this. If you're on a budget, then make it yourself. So this is the last sticker. And I'm just going around making sure it looks good. Now I've gone on my Cricut machine. This is, I believe it's called, I know it's, what do you call it? I'm brain dead today, or at this time, because I've been fighting with technical issues. But this is a really pretty vinyl, and what I've done is gone into Cricut Space and just come up with dimensions that I wanted the vinyl to be, and it cut the strip as long as I wanted to. And I'm just placing this vinyl right on the edge of this vinyl. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just lining it up. And I don't know why, but it just, that vinyl kept poking me. So here's the end result, and I hope y'all can make out really how pretty the shininess is of those stickers. So until next time, y'all, dare to create.